Are you guys ready for a spicy debunking of a debunking? Yes, that's going to happen today. So we'll give it a few seconds, and let me give you a little backstory on what happened. So Officer Greg Anderson, a little while ago, sitting in his police car, kind of made a video of himself talking about how he's not going to let others, or he's not going to be a part of the trampling on people's rights, liberties, and stuff like that. And he's going to defend and protect people's constitutional rights. So his video, I mean, it got a lot of traction. It got tons of traction. And people were not exactly sure what to do with it other than supporting him. So when it all comes down to it, what do you do with something like that? You either join the cause and you run with it because you believe in it, or you fight it and you investigate it, right? So I'm actually sharing my video right now to a couple groups that are going to be very, very interested in hearing what I have to say and seeing how far I go tonight to prove to you guys whether or not Officer Greg Anderson is a fraud or not. So Officer Greg Anderson makes a video and talks about how he's going to support people's constitutional rights. He's not going to trample on people's rights. He's not going to get mixed in the middle of crazy things and stuff like that. He's going to be a police officer. He's going to do what he signed an oath to do: serve, protect, and protect people's rights, right? So he wakes up the next morning, command messages him, "Hey, Officer Anderson, powerful message. Thank you for everything that you've done," basically kind of telling him good job or something like that. That's what this department stands for. That's the gist of it. By lunchtime, or by the time half of his shift has passed, this video has had hundreds of thousands of views, and they're telling him it's time to pull the plug, take it down. Probably because of a lot of other officers would be influenced by this whole entire thing, correct? So by the end of his shift, it's hit several million views. And he's refusing to take the video down because he feels like it's the right thing for him to do, to leave it up. It's the right thing for him to do, to stand behind his word and his oath and everything that he stands for. And it would be really hypocritical after everything that he said and did, but then nobody comes forward, or he doesn't actually follow through with it. When you're already on that hill and you already are on the verge of getting fired, what have you got left? There's nothing left to lose. You're either going to lose your job or you're going to be praised for what you did. So they started to praise him early that morning. And then by the end of the day, they were telling him he was going to be fired or put on administrative leave. Well, let's share the screen with you here. I want to share with you what somebody had said today to me. Somebody sent me a thing and said, "Hey, you might want to rethink what you're doing with this whole Officer Greg Anderson thing by sharing his videos and helping support all this money and stuff that he's getting." And I said, okay, let's see, what have you got for me? So let's go to my message box and I'll show you what messages I got today. Let's go notifications. No, not notifications. My videos. Let's click on Officer Anderson videos. Let's check this one out right here. So somebody said, "Just seen Officer Greg Anderson on Fox News. Laura Ingraham live. That's great news. Pray big. I hope and pray mandatory vaccines doesn't come to pass. There are millions upon millions against that." So these are people that are positive about this. These are people that are saying, look, he's on Fox News, he's on CBS, he's doing all these. You don't think these people investigate? You don't think these people reach out to the police station to see if he's real, to see if his story's legit? You don't think that happens? You don't think they have investigators, even though I know a lot of these news stations lie, but something that's this big, that has gained so much traction, do you think they have room for any kind of error in any of this without doing some kind of investigation? You don't think these people can look somebody up and figure out if they're a fake or a phony, or follow multiple platforms to get to the source of where they came from? I mean, I would think that that would be a very, especially right now with how critical everything looks and all the lies people are catching from news stations. You don't think that these people would know exactly what they're doing? I would think that it would be a very, very bad ground to stand on if somebody did not research him before they brought him on their national television segment of whatever it would be, right? Okay, so let's move forward here. Enough beating around the bush on that. Let's back up for a second here. Let's go to my other video here. Police officer says it's our constitutional rights. Let's click here. Here he is. Here's his video in his squad car. Here is his uniform. He's got his weapons and stuff here. This is the typical the police cars I work on at the dealer. They look like this. They have plain seats, plain backing, and stuff like this. They have the caged off sides right here. So this looks like a legit police car to me. When I would look at this, because of my functionality at the dealership of working on these things often, I would see something like this. So this looks legit. The placement of where the rivets and stuff are in the cage, the side shielding coming across right here, the placement of the weapons rack and stuff doesn't look homemade. It looks like this is professionally put together by somebody to serve a purpose of a police officer being on patrol, right? So this doesn't throw any red flags to me, because as a professional in my field, this looks legit. I could normally pick something out if it was fake, and this doesn't look fake at all. Down here, very, very supportive. Everything's legit. Everybody's talking very, very positive. Now, let's go to the campaign video. It's not this one. This is not the campaign video. Let's go back. Where's he at? Where's he at? Let me look at my messages in my phone to figure out exactly which one I want to pull up. Okay, so it's this one here. Right here. So we'll pause that. You might want to investigate something about the Washington police officer. Go and watch this video. Okay, so let's look and see where this person shared this video at on here. I think we can change right here, sort by, and then just do the newest first. And it pops up here. You might want to go investigate something about the Washington police officer. Go watch this video. You can see I've replied twice here already, and this is where we're going to get into the really juicy stuff, right? So we're going to go to somebody else's YouTube channel, and we're going to look and see what they have to say. Oh, wait a second. Washington police officer Greg Anderson on leave over video opposing COVID-19 orders, right? Who's the guy making it? RV Truth. He's got 4.98 thousand subscribers. He wants you to go to his Patreon. He wants you to go see his supporters and stuff like that right at the top of the screen. What did I say here? So the information you are providing here is absolutely false. I actually called up the Port of Seattle Police Department today, and I spoke to one of the staff ladies, and he is absolutely still part of the police department, still part of their police force. They're unpaid administrative leave. If you actually call up the Port of Seattle Police Department, there's an automated message, because so many people are calling there, that says, I should have spelled some things correctly there, that says directly he is still employed there, and you are investigating his recent actions on the police force. Let's see what my other message says. I am going to do a video debunking what you're saying right now in this video, and go right to the direct source themselves so people know the truth. Sorry, but I just think that's the right thing to do. I think that people should be reporting honest stuff, right? If you're going to debunk somebody, debunk them. Don't go to some video from years ago thinking that you're going to misconstrue and lead people a certain way. Let's see what the guy had to say, why I went to this extent.
Fine orders on the CV-19 supposed outbreak. And this one's really going to blow this out of the water for those that might be on the fence as far as him being legit. It's take a look here. As you see, this is from Heavy. This is from the New York Daily News. He's obviously getting a ton of attention from these mainstream media.
No. I'm not. Let me pause this here. Let me go back. Let me pause this right here. Do not take offense to what I'm doing here. Jesus is God, our Savior. I wish I knew your name so I didn't have to say that. Let me make this very clear. This is not about you at all. I appreciate you bringing this to me. I thank you for bringing this to me because I want to be able to hold people accountable for what they did. This is bad reporting on this person's part. This is trying to defamation of character right here. This is calling somebody a liar and saying, so this is the true meaning of defamation of character. Defamation of character is where when you say something but you cannot prove that it's real and it defames somebody's name. That is the true meaning of defamation of character. But if you want to defame somebody and you can prove what you're saying is true, you cannot claim defamation of character because the proof is without a reasonable doubt there. This guy does not have proof without a reasonable doubt. So he's actually could be sued for defamation of character in this instant. So I'm glad you brought this to my attention because I love investigating things, but it took me all of 5 seconds to say, maybe I should call up the Port of Seattle Police Department and find out directly from the source, not from some Instagram, not from some Facebook, not from anybody other than the police department themselves. We're going to call the police department right now. Let's hear what this guy has to say, though. It's so quiet on my computer now. I don't know why somebody messed with the settings or something here. But let's actually, I'm going to show you right now.
I already made a video exposing the supposed police officer Greg Anderson for defying orders on the CV-19 supposed outbreak. And this one's really going to blow this out of the water for those that might be on the fence as far as him being legit. Let's take a look here. As you see, this is from Heavy. This is from the New York Daily News. He's obviously getting a ton of attention from these mainstream media outlets. As I showed before, he's getting a ton of money, over $400,000 on his GoFundMe. And take a look here. This is, again, going to blow this out of the water with this so-called police officer swindling people at a whole lot of money. Again, over $400,000. People should be asking for a refund after the evidence I provide. Taking a look at his Facebook page, Electric North Jiu-Jitsu. I find it interesting, the ball earth, and again, the electric north, a reference to, of course, the magnetic north. Now, again, this is him here. This is his viral video, 1.3 million views on Facebook, wearing the police, the uniform, and you see the rifle in the back. But going back in time here, again, 3 years ago, all these videos, no police uniform, him and with his jiu-jitsu school, and this one here, he's just sitting in his car wearing civilian clothes. Nothing with him wearing a police uniform. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, after a hiatus of making videos, basically for 3 years, no videos on Facebook for 3 years, all of a sudden out of nowhere, he makes a video, that we all seen, that viral video, again, opposing the orders on the CV-19, going against his department. But what I want to get to, this is the smoking gun.
Before we get to the smoking gun, I want to talk to you about something here. First of all, police officers know they have certain restrictions. Police officers know they can't just come out and say whatever they want because they do have to adhere to a certain standard of guidelines. Just like when I was in the military, you can't just come out and talk about whatever you want while you're under contract with somebody like that. It would be nice if you could, but sometimes you can't. Sometimes you have to be very, very careful on social media, what toes you step on, what things you talk about, things of that nature. So there's probably a reason why he went several years without posting a lot of stuff on his Facebook, because police officers are occupied with stuff like Little League and kids T-ball and stuff like that, and birthday parties and going to conventions and stuff, bringing their wives, things of this nature. They're not on social media every freaking day posting videos every day. They post stuff about their kids. They post stuff about their wives. They post stuff about things that they like and stuff in life. Being at work in general is already a stressful enough time, having to arrest people, see the corruption that's going on, take people down. These are things that you don't talk about on social media. I have many cop friends and military friends that are still in the military now. They don't talk about their stuff on social media. They don't go making videos all the time and spreading all kinds of drama and rumors about stuff. They talk about things that go on with their family, the walks that they have, the birthday party, the kids that came over and stuff like that. This is not stuff that they're interested in. So whoever this guy is that's already exposing this to say, well, in 3 years, he hasn't said much of anything, and it's a picture of him in his car with his kids and walking the stroller and stuff. I mean, it's ridiculous. You don't debunk somebody like that. This is already huge red. I could do this in 5 minutes and figure out this is a complete fraud debunking that I'm having to go back and debunk, because the debunker doesn't obviously know that there are pretty sensible people out there that can see right through the thin sheet of lies that's going on. And that's exactly what this is. This guy's trying to defame a character that's getting millions of views so he could boost the subscribers on his channel, or he legitimately doesn't know how to investigate things, and in turn is going to generate people traffic flow into his channel because he doesn't really know what he's doing. But I've been on social media for years now. I run 6 different Facebook groups. I got a business page. I got my YouTube and stuff now. I deal with these type of people all the time.
Literally. This video here, again, 3 years ago, family time. Let's take a look. And actually, I should point out, it does say about 4 years ago. So obviously over 3 years. And let's get right to the video. And this is going to be the smoking gun once again. Take a listen.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm trying this live thing again. I'm out on a walk, though, so I don't have good internet connection. We'll see if it works or not. So today I just wanted to talk about, you know, like the reason that I left law enforcement and the military lifestyle for the most part. Sitting right here. Can you wave, Reggie? You say hi? I'm talking to the internet, sweetie. Anyhow, you know, most people that know me know that I was doing the military gig for the last 10 years, a lot of deployments to Iraq, Afghanistan. And then when I came home and put that behind me, you know, I decided I needed to stay home because I had little kids. And I wanted to put them first, you know. So I came home and did what a lot of infantrymen do, is join law enforcement. And, you know, to tell you the truth, I had a good time. A lot of great guys in law enforcement. And I don't regret it at all. But at the end of the day, I found myself giving countless hours to something that wasn't the #1 priority in my life. And that's my family.
So there you go. He gave up law enforcement. And again, this video is almost about 4 years ago, approximately 4 years ago, quitting. So again, this is just a smoking gun, nail in the coffin. All those people that gave this guy all this money, you better ask for a refund.
Listen.
You better ask for a refund immediately on this swindler, this piece of garbage. And he's played a lot of people for fools. And this is what happens all the time. Using emotion against the masses. This is what they do.
So,
you know, people that run this world, people behind.
Let's stop screen sharing here, and let's get up close and personal with me. This swindler, this piece of garbage, he calls him, right? This is some things that you say about somebody that you did a lot of investigating on, right? So you feel appropriately good about yourself, that you can call people names and you can degrade them and defame them and stuff like that. You feel like you're doing something right by doing this. Are you accomplishing something? You know how many police officers come out of law enforcement or come out of the military and go right into the police force, and then it's too much and they need a little bit of a break? Give their kids a few years to grow up and spend some time with their dad because they've been so far apart for so long, or just not being able to spend that quality time with them, and they at least want a few years. So they give it up for a little bit and then they go back to it. Did you ask any questions? Did you reach out to Greg Anderson to say, hey, out of that 3.5, 4 years that you kind of didn't post anything on Facebook about you shooting somebody or running somebody down or doing a drug bust that police officers talk about on their Facebook every single day, right? Because he didn't say those things, that means he wasn't doing it, right? And because there was almost a 4-year gap between the time where he posted his first initial videos until this one came out, that means he wasn't a police officer, right? He didn't take a few years off and spend some time with his family and raise his kids and stuff up, because he'd been doing the military time for so long that he actually went back to work for a police department and just thought, maybe I should stay tight. I should cross my T's and dot my I's right now and not play around with social media too much right now, because I'm filling out this new police department trying to figure out what I can and can't get away with. You know, every new job has a little bit different way that things run. Every new job is not going to be the same way every single time, right? So you feel things out for a little bit until you get comfortable to see what you can get away with, what you can, where the guidelines and stuff are. But this guy thinks he has it all figured out, and he's going to debunk the fact that all these people should get back all their money and stuff, while he's calling them names and defamation of character. There's lawsuits that can be involved with this stuff. But do you think he took 30 seconds to call up the police department and actually ask if Officer Greg Anderson worked there? Do you think this guy took 5 seconds, 30 seconds, 2 minutes, whatever it was, of his time to make the call to see if the information that he was putting out was actually correct? And he had the smoking gun. He did not. You know why? Views, subscribers. Let's call the police department up right now. Port of Seattle Police Department.
According to Port of Seattle, if you wish to contact the Port of Seattle Police Department for the purpose of sharing your concerns in regard to department policies, procedures, or an administrative investigation, please call the phone number at 206-787-47.
Let's see what 206-787-4722. Let's see what they have to say about Officer Greg Anderson working there, because it's a lie.
The number you have reached is for the purpose of allowing citizens to share their concerns in regard to Officer Greg Anderson being on a paid administrative leave. At this stage, Officer Anderson is still a member of the police department. However, an active investigation is currently underway looking into some of his actions this month. More information will be available upon completion of the investigation. If you would like to comment about Officer Anderson and/or our investigation into his actions, please leave a message. We will review these regularly to determine if any action is needed. Thank you for taking the time to share your concerns.
After the tone, please record your message. When you finish recording, hang up or press the pound key for more options.
Yes, hi, my name is Rich. I have a YouTube channel where I do reviews on things, talk about some political concerns, health things, the virus, things of that nature. And I ran across a gentleman that made a video that says that Officer Anderson does not actually work for any police department, and he's actually been out of employment for a little over 3 years. And my fear is this could probably raise some kind of concern, seeing as the fact that he's on Fox News and CBS and everything else, and it could draw a lot of bad attention to the police department. And I just have a few questions. In your automated message here, it stated that he is actually a police officer and he's on paid administrative leave. And I'm not sure the appropriate thing would be to have bad information out there by somebody doing a debunking video, because it could bring some negative attention to the police department. So if you could give me a call back, my phone number is 815-570-7318, and I would like to rectify the situation to just shed some light on the truth of Officer Anderson actually working for the police department. Thank you. So this is where we're at. How far do you want to go to investigate, call, check things out, listen to bad information that people put out on social media? How far do you think Officer Anderson, you think he set up that website for the police department and put all the pretty police officers and it's some fake? Well, should we continue to look and see? Contact Port of Seattle Police. You guys want to call the Port of Seattle Police? Let me try to clean the screen a little bit. If you want to contact the Port of Seattle Police yourself, there you go. There's the main department number. 206-787-3490. There's their mailing address. Do you think that they would not publicly speak about Officer Anderson defaming their police department? You don't think that they would have him in court right now suing him for fictitiously creating this whole scenario if it wasn't true? Or should I just be quiet about this whole entire situation because this debunking was done in satire and it's just dark comedy or dark humor? We have so much of that going on right now with everything that's going on social media that people don't realize the damage that they're doing to the beliefs of those that have to believe in the government or the medical institutions or our police officers or people that are in charge of us. People are starting to turn away from that stuff and stop believing more and more and more because of bad information like this. When you are trying to create a fictitious story to draw in views or subscribers, or maybe it's just because of simple ignorance, you do damage in the process. And the damage that you do in the process can last with somebody for a very long time because of your negligence. If you're going to defame, or how are you skeptical of the officer? You don't think that they would have come forward and they would have publicly said anything? You don't think that them being on Fox News and CBS and Laura Ingraham, you don't think that they would have came forward and said, hey, this is not true. This is not true. This officer never worked for us, blah, 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 blah. They do have certain privacy rights that they have to be mindful of, but they don't have to let somebody slander their police department. They do not have to let somebody create this fictitious story or something about the situation. If there was indeed a reason why somebody should have spoke up, the police department would have done that. Every single one of them do. Kane County Sheriff's Department just finally decided to stop enforcing a lot of the rules and laws because of this virus. But they themselves came forward. They didn't turn it over to a news agency or anybody else. They came forward and they said, you know what, this is what we've chose to do. This is just our decision, because they don't want it coming from somebody else. I mean, I get the fact that you're skeptical about a lot of things. I get I get that people are really worried about this whole thing, but to come right out and bash somebody's name, to come right out and say, this guy's a fraud, you should ask for your money and stuff back, without doing 5 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever it takes of investigation, to call them up and say, is this an officer? What happened between the time that you got out of the military until it's so? Just let's go ahead and make a video and just trash somebody because we can, without doing any kind of work in the meantime at all, because that's the right thing to do. Why didn't he reach out to the guy and ask him questions? Why didn't he reach out to the guy and try to say, hey, can I find out a little bit more information on you? I'm noticing that you got out of the military here, or this is when you started posting your videos and stuff, but there's like a huge gap in between this COVID-19 video, the standing up for people's constitutional rights. Nobody did the homework. People are just supposed to go to his YouTube channel and just believe whatever he says because his name is RV Truth. I think it should be called RV Lies, because there's obviously a lot of stuff that wasn't done here, and it takes 5 seconds to pick up that phone and say, hey, Google, hey, Siri, can you tell me the Port of Seattle Police Department number? I mean, they have a dedicated line now because so many people are calling to check on this officer and express their concerns for why he was put on administrative leave. I mean, it's all over Fox News and the investigators and the reporters and stuff for all these other news agencies that say they've reached out to the police department and talked to the police department. And they say, look, we cannot give you the statistics of what happened, but we can tell you that Officer Greg Anderson is paid on administrative leave right now. So regardless of what the situation is, this guy is calling him out and telling him he's a liar, that he was not a police officer. There's this big gap between when the videos were made and everything else, when indeed his information itself has too many holes in it. Wake up, people. Wake up. Seriously. Stop following people so damn blindly. Do the homework. All right, guys. That's all I got right now. I'm a little fired up. I'm going to jump on here and take it out on this Call of Duty Warzone tonight and relax. This beautiful weather. That's all I had for you right now, until something further pops up. This is where we're at. This RV Truth guy doesn't have a leg to stand on with the information he put out right now. Until we know something more about what's going on, that whole video that he did should be completely discredited. Thank you guys. Please, anything that you find that you want looked at, it just doesn't take that much time at all to do it. If you want me to do it, I'll do it. Send it to me and I'll check it out. Love you all. Be blessed. Have a great evening. See you tomorrow.